for joining me again. If you checked out the first video, or otherwise, just welcome back. My name is Sheena. I am in week 2 of my full stack boot camp, and I came on here to sort of vent because I'm actually feeling a little bit discouraged. I completed my first week project, submitted it, and moved into the second week of content. And it was a little bit like WTF. Now, I personally struggle with imposter syndrome and just like the belief like, is this for me? Like, am I wasting my time? That's something that I struggle with all the time. I actually just made a little blog post about that. I don't think I've published my blog yet. I just kind of use it to vent, but maybe I'll link that below. But anyway, I came in here to encourage myself and to hopefully encourage others. So in my task of trying to get ready to get some coding done today, I went to the Word, I went to some sermons, and I'll share that with you. But essentially, I guess I'll start off with a little background story. So again, I was just telling you how I deal with a lot of imposter syndrome. And I bounce around a lot. Like, I tried coding a while back, got pregnant, got really sick, quit it. With this, I've come back into it like a couple times, and then I always quit, and I'm like, I just really want to win the lottery. Or, hey, what are the odds of me winning the lottery? Let me ask my husband if I could just be a stay-at-home wife. We figured out that's not the life for us. Just a bunch of stuff. So whenever coding gets hard for me, I'm always like, I need to find a way out, but I come back to it. I figure something out. It's cool when something resonates and you're just like, oh, something happened, magic. And that's what gets me through. So I hope that you all are experiencing some wins like that as well. The verse that's getting me through today, there's a few of them. Definitely Romans 8:18. For I consider that the suffering of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us. Life is hard, coding is hard, studying is hard. Doing things, especially for me in my mindset, doing things when you don't know how it's going to end is hard. Doing things when you don't know what the end will look like, if it's going to be worth it. Are you just wasting 20 plus hours a week away from your family, enjoyment, scrolling on Instagram, watching YouTube videos? Is it worth it? And I had to sit down and meditate on that. And I came back. I did a fast back in March, and the big thing that I got out of that was I'm so skeptical about everything. What I just said about, is it going to be worth it? That's how I've essentially lived my whole life. Is it worth me trying this and being embarrassed? Or is it worth me trying this and failing? Is it worth me working on something and then it not turning out well or not being received? I think that about struggles in marriage. I think that about repairing relationships with like family members or friends. I think that about work. Like, you know, should I apply to this other job? Should I attempt to get something even better? And it boils down to just skepticism. Am I worth it? Am I worthy? Not knowing what God's overall plan for me is. And I was listening to a sermon from Stephen Furtick with Elevation Church a while back, and one of the things that he honed in was God's not always going to reveal the big plan to you. And in fact, I would probably say that that's very rare that that's going to happen. You're going to get the information bit by bit, and you have to be open and willing to be used, just knowing what you know and trusting God's plan and having faith in it. One of the things that my anxious mind tells me is, I know God has this big plan, but what about my plan, God? I'm a human, and I want fun stuff. I want good stuff. I want the things that I want to. I want to be a part of like accomplishing your stuff, but I also want to have a fun life, and I want to have a good life. And God, does your plan and my plan exist together that way? And it goes back to me knowing or realizing or coming back to just knowing that God is my Father. He wants the best for me. He wants the best for you. He wants the best for us. And He's not going to leave us hanging. We get a bit of information, and we have to be willing to be used, and the big picture will reveal itself, and it's all going to be worthwhile. We know that like His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. What we want, God is probably even just laughing at it like, you want such a little thing. I want and have this big thing for you, and you're just thinking about that. And that's what I keep in the back of my mind, and that's what keeps me going with this coding thing, because who knows where it's going to end up. I'm literally at the very beginning of it, and I have a lot of defeated moments, a lot of procrastinating, if that's a word, moments where I'm recording this video right now, but I'm definitely logged into my learning website, and I should start coding, but here I am. Anyway, I'm trying to encourage myself, and I hope that I'm encouraging you. I'll share some other stuff that I went through this morning just in case you find it useful. If you want to open up your Bible, I'm not going to read anything major off, but if you're just looking for some direction, some type of fulfillment, again, I started us off with, I think I told you, Romans 8, verse 18. For I consider that the suffering of the present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is going to be revealed to us. So the suffering of studying is going to be worth what we're going to get out of it on the back end. The next thing for me was Jeremiah 29, verse 11, where God assures us that, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you future and a hope. And the other one is Romans 8, verse 28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. So whatever we are struggling through, whatever seems like an opportunity right now, whatever we can't see the end of, whatever we can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel for right now, God's gonna work it all out for us. We just need to know bit by bit, this is what we're supposed to be doing. The one thing that came to me this morning in my studies was like Noah's Ark. If Noah didn't take it bit by bit, or if like he knew the whole plan, it might have turned out completely different. Like, I don't think we know who Noah is as a person, but if Noah was anything like me, if God would have told me, hey, there's going to be this huge flood and I need you to build a ship for it, I would have spazzed. I would have been thinking every day, like, wait, when is that going to happen? I need to build this thing. And then I would have rushed it. The boat or ark it might not have been great because I would have been rushing it, because I would have been in so much like anxiety about like what's going to happen, when is it going to happen. So again, bit by bit is all we need to know so that we don't interfere with God's plans, and just rest assured that his plans are better than our plans. So Sheena, self, keep going. Whoever is listening to this, watching this, keep going, and happy coding or whatever you're doing to make life better. Have a good day.